I was extremely nervous. And again, one thing that I want to get across is it's not the physical aspect. You can physically train to get ready to run whatever distance that you want to run. But what's really hard to tone in is the mental aspect, the part of locking in, the part of not panicking. And that's really what has caused me to have this obsession with ultra trail running is that mental challenge. So when you asked if I was scared that I couldn't mentally win the battle. After failing on Diablo back in September, the physical training was really kind of fueled by a little bit of anger, but the mental part was what I knew I really had to lock in and focus on to make sure that I could complete the full 50K distance. The reason I had picked this race was I was very familiar with the trails. I've done a 50K on these trails. I've done a 50-mile race on these trails. Some of the best trail systems, probably in the entire country, running across the beautiful coast and the Marin Headlands, gorgeous views of the Pacific Ocean. You got a little small town, Sausalito, right there. It's just a fantastic way to spend a day trail running. So once I saw that this race was so local to me and the time frame really kind of worked out so that I could get some good training in, I knew that I didn't have any other option if I wanted to get another 50K under my belt before the end of the year. I knew I had to finish. There was no chance that I could mentally allow myself to not successfully complete another race that I signed up for. There was definitely some concerns leading up to it that I just wasn't going to be able to get past that mental block. I had done 26 miles on Diablo 2 weeks before the 50K, and I couldn't get the 50K done on the race day. Same thing with this race. I had done 27 miles 2 weeks before the race, but I still struggle with that mental block of knowing when it gets late, when we're past the marathon distance, and it really the mental battle takes over more than the physical. I need to be ready and I need to be sharp because failure was not an option.
Good morning. We made it to race day. Feeling good. Slept pretty good. Now I just gotta go through my morning routine, lock in, get there on time, and make it happen. All right, all checked in at the race. Got my bib on. It's about 6:23, about 40 minutes or so till the race starts. Sitting in the car, feeling pretty good. Gonna decompress for about the next 7 minutes. Hop out, put the rest of my gear on, and I'm really gonna focus on a proper warm up. I think that's one thing that I lack a lot is making sure that my body is ready to go so that those first 2 or 3 miles aren't just pure pain as my body gets adjusted. I want to make sure that I'm ready to rock and roll. So as soon as the whistle goes off, I'm ready to take off across the bridge. So doing something a little bit different, but I definitely know with the colder weather, it's going to be really important to stay warm. Just got my gear on, feeling pretty good. I go to put on my watch and I forgot it at home. It's all good. I have my Apple Watch with a little bit of battery, and if not, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I know this course, so I'll just have to be ready no matter what.
Being at the start line for only the second time in the last 2.5 years definitely brought its own set of anxiousness. You're checking in, you're getting your bib, you're seeing all these people out there, and you're just kind of wondering, like, wow, like, dude, I made it here. And sometimes that's something that's taken for granted, but with the way things have played out for me previously, that's not something that I take for granted anymore. Now, yeah, to be honest, I definitely had my race week doubts. I think that's common where you start to kind of second guess everything. You're not training as hard and you're kind of just having to be patient and foam roll and make sure that your legs are ready to go. So I did have some race week doubts, but mentally, once I got there and I was checked in, I knew that I was going to finish the race no matter what. I feel like the first 3 miles were a really good part of the race. I was able to utilize my warm up to get me off to a better start to start the race. One thing that did throw me off was we had found out at the start of the race that the 50-mile distance was canceled. So there was about another 100 people that were racing the 50K distance, which just kind of makes it a little bit busier. It's nothing like those marathon ultras where you see thousands and thousands of people lining up. A lot of these things are smaller events. So 100 extra people definitely clogs the start line, and it makes just for a bigger atmosphere. We also found out that the course was going to be a little bit different. We weren't told any details. I'm very confident with the trails and the Marin Headlands, so I wasn't too nervous. But I just, again, I didn't like not knowing where I was going or having an idea of what to expect, especially with having ran 95% of the course just 2 weeks ago. I was really looking forward to knowing specific places where I could pick it up and specific places where I need to be a little bit more patient.
All right, just hit the first aid station, 3 miles in. Just got across the bridge, so now we're gonna have some fun up in the trails. Pretty cool running across the Golden Gate for the first time, but excited to be out in the trails. Got my first goo, feeling good, gonna take it smooth, and this is what we're here for. Just over 6 miles in, almost to the next aid station, but got hit with a little patch of pretty serious rain, but it's calming down now. We're going downhill. It's the next aid station. Gonna make sure I get some food, keep moving. Legs are feeling good, the mind's feeling good. Let's have a day. Just over 8 miles in, just hit the Tennessee Valley aid station. Nice little downhill. Had to deal with some weather, but it's all good. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty beautiful day from here on out. Picked up 2 goos. Still pretty good on the hydration. I think at mile 13, about 5 miles from here, I'll refill my flask with water and electrolytes just to make sure I stay on top of things and don't let it creep up behind me. So a little bit of climbing, a lot more downhill. Let's keep moving. 11.5 miles in, just left the 3rd aid station, refilled my flask, got some chips. They have every damn chip except for plain Lay's, so I don't know who coordinated that, but feeling pretty good. There was definitely some adjustments in the course because now I'm going back the same way I came down. Don't really know what to expect, but feel pretty confident on this trail, so we'll just have to keep figuring it out.
So coming out of the 3rd aid station, about 11.5 miles in, I was feeling really good. It had been a solid downhill stretch. It's not very steep, so I was able to just have a nice jog. It was the first aid station I got to where I was really planning to get some food. One thing that I've learned is that the aid stations were not adequately stocked. They had a ton of different things. They had like 12 different types of chips, 3 different types of gummy bears, but they didn't have like peanut butter sandwiches. They didn't have oranges or bananas or typical things that you see in an ultra. So you see that I just had some sun chips, which isn't something that I've used on a race before. It's always nerve-wracking to try something new on race day. But I decided that I needed some solid food before the day got too late. So that was what I went with. Now, what I did find out was, as I mentioned earlier, they had made some slight changes to the course. Those, however, were not very slight. There was about 2 miles added and maybe about 2,000 feet of climbing, which, in a 50K race, that takes it from a little over 30 miles to about 32 miles and 4,000 feet of climbing to about 6,000 feet of climbing. So pretty material changes, especially when you're trying to prepare for coming back. I was 2.5 years since I had done one. I had just failed one, and the mental aspect was what I was really going to be struggling with. It sucked not knowing what to expect coming next. As comfortable and familiar as I am with those trails, there's definitely some steep sections. And that's exactly what we ended up hitting to make up for the course adjustments.
All right, just under 15 miles, hit an aid station, got a little Stoop Waffle, got some gummy bears. Don't tell anyone I took one extra one for Ava. But anyway, feeling pretty good. I have no idea what the rest of the course is, but I'm assuming there's a little bit more climbing because of the way that we're going. So hopefully things keep going well and the weather holds up, because the mind's good, the body's good. What a beautiful day it is out here today. All right, 19 miles in, the shades are on, the jacket's off, the watch is dead. That is how you get it done. Anyway, we got about 12, 13 more miles. My next couple check-ins might be a little guesstimate on the mileage, but I have a good idea of what's left. My legs are getting tired. My mind is getting ready to go to battle and we're gonna fucking get this done. I'll tell you that, no doubt about it. Last stretch was the Pirates Cove climb. Very, very steep, very reminiscent of Diablo, but now I got a good downhill stretch. I think one more climb, and then we're making it back to the city by the bay. Definitely starting to feel the effects 20 miles in, but what else did I expect? That's what we do it for. Tough climb, very tough climb. The legs are still moving though. Running out of water. I think it's about a mile or so to the next aid station. Try to stay calm, stay in the pocket. Easier said than done. Okay, we're checking at the aid station. Almost done with the climbing. It's pretty much downhill to Rodeo Beach. Mile something. I have no idea. I thought I was like close to like mile 24-ish. But I just got out of the aid station. They said 9 more miles to the finish. So just gotta stay focused on what's in front of me, one step at a time. The aid station didn't have any electrolytes. Normally I pack like 5-6 electrolytes. Today I only packed 3, thinking, oh, this is a Spartan event. Like, they put on events all around the world. Like, they'll be well prepared at the aid station. That wasn't the case at that aid station. So no electrolytes. Hopefully this next one has some.
Without the course adjustments, that would have been mile 24, and I would have had about 6 miles to go. When I get there and they tell me that there's 8 more miles to go, a little bit of panic definitely sets in. I know it's getting late in the day. I know my pace is slowing down. I've just done a really hard stretch with two pretty bad climbs. And the first thing I asked for is, hey, can I get some electrolytes? Now, thankfully, it wasn't a very hot day. I wasn't in dire need of electrolytes. I was just dehydrated. With it being 55 degrees, it wasn't a major concern. It was just more of something like an inconvenience that kind of frustrated me, that kept me pushing a little bit more until I got to the next aid station. 25 miles in, I'm starting to get tired. My legs are shot. My mind is starting to question, can I do this? I've been here before. What's it going to take to get me through that last stretch? And I had to lock in. I had to go to a mentally dark place to get myself pushing through those last couple of miles to get to the next aid station, where I could then regroup and focus on getting back to the finish line.
27 miles in. I only know that because I overheard someone say it. Got about 5 more miles to go. Again, someone just said that, so I have no idea. But hitting a rough spot. It happens. You push yourself this far, stay out here this damn long. It ain't all gonna be sunshine and roses, so gonna keep pushing. All right, you can see the bridge behind me. It's in the past, about 31 miles or so. 1 more mile. So excited. Adrian and the kids are there. So excited to see them, have this under the belt. It's been a ride, but we're there. We're getting there. I'm still okay, and we're okay. So checking at the finish line. Hi, kiddo. Hi, I'll come around and see you, okay? Hi, Roman. Hi, buddy.